You are listening to Making It in the Toy Industry, episode number 294.
Welcome to Making It in the Toy Industry, a podcast for inventors, entrepreneurs, and makers like you. And now, your host, Azhelle Wade.
All right, you already know about the Golden Globes, the Emmys, the Grammys, the Tony Awards, but have you heard of the TOTY Awards? TOTY stands for Toy of the Year. It's a black tie award show, and it's the Oscars of the toy industry. Today, I'm going to tell you what the TOTYs are, where they're held, what it's like to attend, and what you can do to snag a TOTY win if you have a toy or game. Hey there, toy people. Welcome back to another episode of Making It in the Toy Industry with me, Azhelle Wade. I'm a mom and toy industry educator. I've been in the industry since 2010, and I've worked for some of the biggest brands like Madame Alexander, Party City, and Toys R Us designing toys. Since launching the Toy Coach in 2020, I've worked with big brands like Hasbro, Relatable, BDA Inc., and National Geographic on toy projects. Today, I'm known for helping emerging inventors and entrepreneurs break into the industry to get their ideas licensed, get placement in mass market stores, and win toy awards. You'll find my products clients behind me, but also in Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, and at specialty toy stores across the globe. People call the TOTYs the Oscars of the toy industry for a reason. A TOTY win will open up major doors, press, mass market retail placement, and business deals that wouldn't have come to companies otherwise. If your toy business is feeling stagnant or you want to put major momentum behind an upcoming launch, consider applying for a TOTY award and aligning your launch schedule for it. So your first question might be, who runs the TOTY Awards? Well, it's run by the nonprofit organization called the Toy Foundation, which is the philanthropic arm of the Toy Association. The TOTYs celebrate the year's most creative and innovative toys with a black tie gala, and it doubles as a fundraiser for kids. How do you get considered for an award? Well, every summer, typically in August, the Toy Foundation puts out a call for entries. To qualify for a nomination, the submitted toy must be new or newish to the market and available for purchase in the US by Q4 of the nomination year. If you're crowdfunding your toy idea, that product has to be fully funded in the summer with retail availability by November in Q4. So if you're thinking of launching a new toy and you think that it has TOTY power, consider aligning your launch calendar to the TOTY Awards. Now, a TOTY Award nomination and the win is a chance to be recognized as the best of the best in the industry, to feature your company, your leadership, and put your product in front of millions of consumers. From the submissions, the final nominees are selected by a panel of play experts, media, retailers, and academics. In 2026, the finalists were announced at another toy industry trade show called TAGIES in November, but we'll cover that event in another video. Voting for the TOTYs is open to members of the Toy Association, retailers, and media, and there are some opportunities for the public to vote on TOTYs, and it's called the People's Choice Award. So even if you're a consumer, you can vote. Voting continues into early January of the following year, and winners are announced at the Black Tie Gala held during New York Toy Fair, which is Toy Fair season in the toy industry. In February, TOTY Night is the centerpiece of New York Toy Fair. I first attended the TOTYs in September of 2023 because a game my husband designed was being nominated for Game of the Year. As we pulled up to the gala, we were greeted by all of our industry friends dressed to the nines. First of all, they look great. There was a red carpet and paparazzi-style interviews upon entering. We snacked on hors d'oeuvres, we enjoyed the open bar, we posed in front of a step-and-repeat backdrop that promoted that year's sponsors, and each category winner was called to the stage, just like the Oscars, given a few minutes for their speech, and even played off by music when they went over time. Even still, the night went long because there were 16 categories to go through. And even though my hubby didn't take home the win that night, we sure felt like we did, because we ended our night dancing side by side, but with that night's performer Wyclef Jean to Hips Don't Lie. I mean, it was an amazing time. When you look at the brands nominated for a TOTY in any given category, you're going to understand that just being nominated is a huge deal. You'll see companies the likes of Mattel, Hasbro, Spin Master, and IPs like Bluey and Miss Rachel amongst the nominees. The TOTYs are the big leagues. But why does a TOTY nomination matter so much? And if your toy is TOTY nominated, should you flaunt it? Well, yes, first, customers love it. A TOTY nomination seal on your toy's ads or packaging can move customers to buy more, up to 30%. It's also a press magnet. Award-nominated toys are gold to the press because the checks and balances are already taken care of. An award nomination signals to us that quality and industry integrity are a given. Also, you get a retail search lift. Consumers, buyers, and media writers literally type in Toy of the Year and that year when looking for the hottest toy of the season to buy or report on. Professionally, having worked on a TOTY-nominated product is corporate fuel. If you work a corporate job, having a TOTY-nominated toy on your resume is a major credibility booster to you and whichever employers you might work with. There's also an SEO site boost. With over 480 searches per month on average, just having your toy nominated for a TOTY can get more visits to your page. So consider making a simple voting landing page for your product. Now, there is a caveat though. When you're a TOTY finalist, you still have to pay to license the seal from the Toy Foundation. So you can reference your toy as a finalist in text, but any official graphics and use of that seal requires a licensing fee. Now, before we continue, tell me this. Have you ever been nominated for a TOTY? Has anyone you know ever been nominated for a TOTY? Tell me the details below. As I said earlier in this video, the finalists for the 2026 TOTYs are live. Among the nominees, you'll find Sticky Rolls by Sky Castle Toys, Neato Nice Cube Swirl by Shilling Toys, Swift Clicks Heshi Bracelet Maker by Make It Real, and Connect 4 Frenzy by Hasbro Inc. And many, many more. Now, I'll link the list to the full description of all the nominees below. Last year, I happened to interview 3 TOTY winners on this podcast, including South Beach Bubbles, who took home TOTY, the 2025 TOTY for Outdoor Toy of the Year, and Wow Stuff, who took home 2 TOTYs, the heavily coveted Overall Toy of the Year TOTY, and then the Tech Toy of the Year TOTY, unheard of. Radio Flyer took home the 2025 TOTY for Infant Toddler Toy of the Year, and because I featured those people, I got the idea to run a category-exclusive spotlight on TOTY finalists as a part of the Making It in the Toy Industry podcast. We're doing this on the podcast, on the YouTube channel, all to promote TOTY finalists so they can turn their nominations into wins. Now, I'm only accepting 1 finalist per category, so when a category books, it closes. Let me just tell you the promo options really quick. Number 1, the Essential Spotlight tier. For $4.95, you get a full podcast interview, feature, and promotion to our email list. The Impact Spotlight Tier 2 for $7.95, you get everything in Essential plus a YouTube product review, an additional social media reel about your toy as well. For the Amplify Spotlight Tier 3 for $16.95, you get everything in the previous 2 tiers, along with an ad campaign with ad money run by the Toy Coach team on our accounts to get more eyeballs on your promotion. There's 16 TOTY categories, only 12 left to book for this promotion for this year. Once a finalist in a category purchases a tier, that category is completely unavailable to anyone else. I'm making this a category exclusive spotlight to maintain the integrity of the promotions and to increase the value of your campaign with us. When you choose one of my TOTY finalist promo packages, you're not only getting the service outlined in the package, but also me behind your brand and promoting your product to be the TOTY winner for the duration of the season. Public voting for the TOTYs is open now. It closes January 7th for 2026. So if you're a TOTY finalist, if you know someone who is, it's time to grab your Essential Spotlight for your category, claim it, own it, and get your TOTY win. Now, if you're not a TOTY finalist, but you have a question about the toy industry, comment your question below. Tell me what else you'd like to learn. I'd be happy to share it on this podcast and on this channel. As always, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I know your time is valuable and that there are a ton of podcasts out there. Do me one favor and promise me this. If you decide to develop a toy or game idea, that you are going to make it toyetic. Okay, until next time, I'll see you later, toy people.
Thanks for listening to the Making It in the Toy Industry podcast with Azhelle Wade. Head over to thetoycoach.com for more information, tips, and advice.